For over 2 centuries, Oak Island has captivated the imagination of treasure hunters, historians, and television audiences alike. Nestled off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, this small and seemingly inconspicuous island has become the epicenter of one of the world's longest-running treasure hunts. The story begins with whispers of buried riches, secret societies, and booby-trapped tunnels, a tale passed down through generations, fueled by legend and mystery. The Oak Island enigma first entered public consciousness in the late 18th century, but it gained global fame in the 21st century thanks to the History Channel's documentary series The Curse of Oak Island. This show follows the efforts of Rick and Marty Lagina, 2 brothers from Michigan who grew up hearing tales of the elusive Money Pit. Their childhood fascination turned into a full-blown quest, as they invested millions of dollars into unearthing the truth behind the myth. At the heart of Oak Island lies the Money Pit, a deep, artificially constructed shaft first discovered in 1795. Its unique layers of wooden platforms, stone markers, and sudden flooding have defied countless attempts to excavate it. Over the years, theories have emerged suggesting that the pit might contain anything from pirate gold and religious relics to ancient manuscripts and royal jewels. The sheer complexity of the island's subterranean design hints at a treasure of enormous significance, or perhaps an elaborate hoax meant to forever obscure the truth. Regardless of what lies beneath, the legend of Oak Island remains an enduring symbol of human curiosity, obsession, and the dream of discovering the impossible. The legend of Oak Island began in 1795, when a young man named Daniel McGinnis spotted a curious depression in the earth beneath an old oak tree while exploring the island with his friends, John Smith and Anthony Vaughan. Intrigued by local rumors of buried treasure and noticing an unusual block and tackle system hanging from the tree, the boys began digging. What they uncovered sparked one of history's most enduring mysteries. Just a few feet down, they encountered a layer of flagstones, followed by successive platforms of logs placed at every 10 feet. This unusual pattern led them to believe the pit had been intentionally constructed to hide something of great value. With each descending layer, their excitement grew, and soon, talk of hidden treasure began to spread throughout Nova Scotia and beyond. By the early 1800s, organized expeditions arrived on the island, convinced that the Money Pit concealed riches left by pirates such as Captain Kidd or Blackbeard. Others speculated that the treasure might be even older and more profound. Some believed the legendary Knights Templar had hidden sacred artifacts there, while fringe theories proposed that the lost jewels of Marie Antoinette were smuggled to the island during the French Revolution. These competing ideas gave rise to Oak Island's mythos. Unlike typical treasure hunts based on a single story or clue, Oak Island's mystery was built on layer after layer of folklore, documented clues, and unexplained engineering marvels buried beneath the surface. As new searchers arrived with more sophisticated tools, the legend evolved from local tale to international obsession, laying the foundation for 2 centuries of exploration, speculation, and ultimately, heartbreak. The strange and deliberate construction of the pit, from its wooden platforms to the infamous flood tunnels, suggested that someone had gone to great lengths to conceal whatever was hidden below. But who they were, why they did it, and what they left behind remained a puzzle no one could solve. As Oak Island's legend grew, so did the number of treasure seekers determined to unlock its secrets. In the early 1800s, the Truro Company became the first major group to finance a formal excavation of the Money Pit. Their efforts, while ambitious, ended in frustration and financial loss, but they introduced new tools and techniques that would set the tone for future digs. Among their discoveries were wooden platforms, bits of charcoal, coconut fiber, and mysterious inscriptions that hinted at something far deeper and far more complex than a simple pit. Later in the 19th century, the Oak Island Association took over the search, bringing in steam-powered pumps to combat the pit's infamous flooding. But this marked the beginning of what many consider the island's curse. Tragedy struck when a shaft collapsed, claiming the first known life in the pursuit of the treasure. Over the decades, as more companies and independent seekers came to the island, fatal accidents continued. Drownings, cave-ins, and toxic gas incidents fueling the legend that 7 people must die before the treasure could be found. To date, 6 lives have been lost, and that eerie number adds a chilling edge to the already haunting story. These early expeditions laid both the physical and psychological groundwork for the generations of explorers to follow. Despite limited success, the depth of mystery uncovered during these early years convinced many that something extraordinary lay beneath Oak Island's soil. But it was clear. The treasure, if it existed, would not be won easily. It demanded blood, sweat, and perhaps even lives. While definitive proof of a treasure hoard has remained elusive, a number of tantalizing artifacts and clues have been discovered over the centuries, each deepening the mystery and strengthening belief in the island's hidden wealth. One of the earliest and most iconic discoveries is the so-called 90-foot stone. Reportedly found in the 1800s, the stone bore a strange coded inscription, which, when translated by later researchers, allegedly read, "40 feet below, 2 million pounds are buried." Though the stone itself has since vanished, this cryptic message became a foundational clue that spurred continued digging and speculation. Equally puzzling was the presence of coconut fiber, a material not native to Nova Scotia, found deep within the pit. Its presence suggested that whoever constructed the pit had access to faraway tropical resources, indicating either wealth, long-distance travel, or both. Additionally, flat stones marked with odd symbols, bits of parchment paper, and fragments of wood and metal added to the aura of mystery. Perhaps most chilling were the human bones discovered deep underground, including samples of different ethnic origins, European and Middle Eastern, which raised new questions about who might have come to Oak Island centuries ago and why. In other digs, searchers unearthed Spanish coins, medieval tools, and strange relics with apparent religious or ceremonial significance. Each clue told part of a larger story, but never quite gave the whole picture. Rather than solving the mystery, these discoveries only deepened it, drawing in more explorers, scholars, and treasure hunters, all hoping they'd be the one to finally crack Oak Island's centuries-old secret. In the early 2000s, the Oak Island mystery was reignited by 2 brothers from Kingsford, Michigan, Rick and Marty Lagina, longtime fans of the Oak Island legend. Since reading about it in Reader's Digest as children, the Laginas transformed their childhood fascination into a serious mission to uncover the truth. Their journey became the centerpiece of the History Channel's hit reality documentary series The Curse of Oak Island, which debuted in 2014 and quickly gained an international following. The Lagina brothers brought not only fresh passion, but also advanced technology to the island, tools that earlier explorers could only dream of. With financial backing and technical support, they used ground-penetrating radar, sonar mapping, seismic scanning, and precision metal detectors to explore areas of the island long considered inaccessible or too dangerous. They also deployed sophisticated drilling rigs and borehole analysis equipment to reach unprecedented depths in the money pit and surrounding zones. Their efforts were more systematic than their predecessors. They consulted historians, geologists, and cryptographers to interpret findings with scientific rigor. In doing so, they uncovered a range of mysterious and historically rich artifacts, from ancient coins to ship remnants and underground structures that appeared man-made. Among their most notable discoveries were a lead cross potentially dating to the 14th century, Roman-era artifacts, and fragments of what may be medieval manuscripts. Though critics argue that the show sensationalizes the search, few can deny the Lagina's dedication and the tangible progress they've made. Unlike past treasure hunters who focus solely on gold or jewels, the Lagina brothers have taken a holistic approach, unearthing not only potential treasure, but also a complex web of historical intrigue that spans continents and centuries. Despite no official declaration of the treasure, Oak Island has yielded numerous finds that many believe are fragments of a much larger puzzle. These discoveries have captured the imagination of historians and armchair archaeologists alike. Here are 5 of the most famous and compelling: the 90-foot stone. Possibly the most iconic find, this inscribed stone was allegedly discovered in the early 1800s at a depth of 90 feet. Though it mysteriously disappeared later, Early transcriptions claim it bore a cryptic cipher that, when decoded, read, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds are buried. Whether the message is authentic or not, it has become central to Oak Island lore. The medieval lead cross. Discovered by the Laguna team near Smith's Cove, this small lead cross is believed by some experts to date back to the 1300s. Its resemblance to Templar iconography has fueled speculation that the Knights Templar, those shadowy crusaders with rumored access to sacred relics, may have reached North America centuries before Columbus. Templar coin and Knight artifacts over the years, several coins and metallic objects of European medieval origin have been unearthed. Some bear cross-like symbols or other marks suggesting links to knightly orders. These finds, while controversial, have strengthened theories of a hidden European religious mission on the island. Roman-era items, perhaps the most astonishing of all, were artifacts believed to be from the Roman Empire, including a Roman pilum tip, spear, and ancient pottery shards. These suggest that explorers from vastly earlier eras might have visited or passed down stories of the island through generations, adding an even older dimension to the tale. Human bones of multiple ethnic origins, found in deep boreholes. These bones were DNA tested and revealed to be of Middle Eastern and European origin. Their presence raises profound questions. Were they slaves, laborers, guardians of a sacred treasure, or victims of Oak Island's deadly traps? No matter the answer, their remains lend human weight to the island's mythic past. Each of these finds, though incomplete on its own, adds weight to the belief that something truly significant is buried beneath Oak Island, be it treasure, history, or both. At the heart of the Oak Island mystery lies the infamous Money Pit, a vertical shaft, shrouded in booby traps, flood tunnels, and engineered deception. From the moment Daniel McGinnis and his friends first dug into the pit in 1795, explorers have been both fascinated and frustrated by the elaborate systems designed to thwart their progress. As more and more was unearthed, it became clear that the Money Pit was no ordinary hole in the ground. It was a masterclass in ancient engineering. At roughly every 10 feet, the original diggers encountered wooden platforms, which led to the belief that someone had intentionally buried something at great depth. But the real shock came when they reached deeper levels and water began to flood the pit, seemingly out of nowhere. Later investigations revealed man-made flood tunnels connected to nearby Smith's Cove, designed to automatically inundate the shaft when a certain depth was breached. These tunnels were cleverly disguised and constructed using layers of coconut, fiber, and eelgrass to prevent clogging, materials that would have been exotic and expensive in 18th century Nova Scotia. Multiple attempts to bypass the flooding involved digging secondary shafts, but these too collapsed or filled with water, indicating that the pit may have been protected by a series of deliberate countermeasures. Over time, entire sections of the ground gave way due to sinkholes or cave-ins, suggesting a network of subterranean chambers or a false pit designed to mislead diggers from the real location of the treasure. This blend of engineering genius and lethal design raises the question, was the Money Pit created to protect unimaginable wealth, or was it itself the ultimate deception? Some researchers believe it's a sophisticated decoy, meant to draw attention away from the true location of the treasure elsewhere on the island. Others see it as a tomb or vault, whose secrets will only be unlocked by solving an intricate architectural riddle, a puzzle of patience, strategy, and sacrifice. The enduring allure of Oak Island is not only in its physical traps and artifacts, but also in the myriad of theories that attempt to explain what could possibly be hidden below, and by whom. These theories span cultures, time periods, and continents, ranging from the historically plausible to the wildly speculative. Pirate Treasure. One of the most popular theories attributes the treasure to infamous pirates like Captain Kidd or Blackbeard, who were known to operate in the Atlantic during the 17th century. The elaborate nature of the Money Pit could, in theory, reflect their efforts to hide stolen riches from the British Navy or rival crews. Some believe it could contain gold, silver, or plundered artifacts from Spanish galleons. The Knights Templar, perhaps the most compelling and controversial theory, involves the Knights Templar, a medieval Christian military order rumored to have amassed vast wealth in sacred relics, such as the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, or ancient religious. Manuscripts. After the Templars were disbanded and persecuted in the 14th century, some believe they fled to the New World and built the Money Pit as a secure vault for their most prized possessions. The discovery of medieval crosses and symbols on the island lends circumstantial support to this theory. Shakespeare's lost manuscripts. A more literary theory suggests that Francis Bacon, a Renaissance philosopher and alleged secret author of Shakespeare's plays, may have hidden early manuscripts or coded documents on Oak Island. According to this theory, the island was chosen as a secure location to preserve knowledge for future generations, encoded in layers of cryptography and physical barriers. Aztec or Incan treasure. Another fascinating idea posits that treasure once belonging to the Aztecs or Incas was transported north by fleeing survivors or Spanish defectors. These civilizations were known for their gold-laden temples and sacred relics, much of which went missing during the Spanish conquest. If true, Oak Island may have served as a remote hiding place to safeguard these treasures from colonial invaders. Freemason. Involvement closely related to Templar theories is the idea that Freemasons, known for their secret symbols, rituals, and elite historical connections, used Oak Island as part of a larger global mystery. Masonic iconography has reportedly been found in carvings and artifact designs, suggesting the island may have played a role in a vast, centuries-old initiation or protection rite. Despite the lack of definitive proof for any single theory, each one adds a new dimension to Oak Island's mystique. What's buried beneath its surface may not just be treasure, but a piece of hidden history, a lost chapter in the saga of human civilization. Here is the expanded version of Part 9, Why It Still Matters Today, and Part 10, Conclusion. Will the mystery ever be solved? In the context of history, more than 200 years after the first shovel hit the soil, Oak Island remains one of the most captivating treasure mysteries in the world. But why does this story still resonate so powerfully in our modern age, an era of digital answers and scientific certainty? At its core, Oak Island is about more than buried gold or ancient relics. It's a symbol of human perseverance, curiosity, and the eternal hope of discovery. The island has attracted generations of seekers, amateur dreamers, professional engineers, historians, and archaeologists, all united by a shared belief that something incredible lies just out of reach. That shared belief has built a global fan base, especially since the rise of the History Channel's The Curse of Oak Island, which transformed an obscure Canadian legend into a pop culture phenomenon. Every new episode, theory, and dig site feels like a step closer to revelation. In a world where many mysteries have been solved, Oak Island stands defiantly unsolved, untouched at its deepest core. The enduring mystery gives people a sense of wonder, echoing the romantic age of exploration, when uncharted lands and unknown civilizations still seemed possible. It satisfies a primal urge to believe that not everything has yet been found, that secrets of the past can still rise from the earth and change our understanding of history. Culturally, the legend has become a metaphor, a reminder that not all treasures are gold, and that the real reward often lies in the journey, the challenge, and the story itself. Whether it's ancient Templars, pirates, or simply a brilliant hoaxer who designed the Money Pit centuries ago, Oak Island continues to matter because it stokes the flame of imagination in every person who hears its tale. After countless excavations, millions of dollars spent, and over 2 centuries of effort, the ultimate question remains: will Oak Island ever give up its secret? Despite all the advances in technology and the discoveries made by the Lagina brothers and those before them, the island refuses to yield a final, undeniable truth. It continues to guard its treasure, or its illusion, beneath layers of mud, stone, water, and time. To some, the answer may never come. Maybe the treasure was removed long ago. Maybe it never existed at all. Or maybe, just maybe, it is still there, buried so deeply and so cleverly that only the most determined minds will ever reach it. Yet in another sense, Oak Island's mystery has already done what many great tales do. It has inspired generations to dig, to question, and to believe. Even without finding a single gold coin or ancient relic of unquestionable origin, the island has unearthed something greater, a timeless story that continues to evolve with every new generation of seekers. So we return to the central question, posed by this legend. Do you believe the treasure exists? And perhaps more importantly, would it still matter if it didn't?